Hey copper nerds, the 1823 N2 remains in acetone. We're going to pull it out, try a little verticare, and see what happens. Let's get into it. So as you have seen, I picked up some wooden tongs for retrieving my coins out of the acetone bath as suggested by Jerry Bobby, who's a fantastic conservationist and has nothing to do with this channel whatsoever, but I learned from him where I can and I follow about half of his advice. Today I'm going to use the Bobby tongs, and let's pull this guy out. This N2 was the subject of my 5-week acetone soak video. Most of my videos pick up a couple hundred views. That one's at like 3,000, so by far my most popular video. I think those close-ups were helpful. I did have a comment under the original video for this, the progress to this point, saying that they think the coin looks worse and clean. It doesn't look worse. I guess I can't disagree with you more. It looks better for sure. All that buildup is reduced significantly. And as far as cleaning, I've got a bunch of videos out there, check them out, but every copper coin when it circulates is cleaned. I've got a pocket piece that I have cleaned and recolored repeatedly over the course of like a day or two. So feel free to check out those videos, but no, this coin is not ruined just because some of the toning that was on there, which was not its original toning, has been there since it was new. Again, copper coins just in circulation are cleaned and then retoned on an ongoing basis. So that out of the way, what I'm gonna do here is I am going to apply some verticare. I use this cap. I have tried verticare once before. Really all I'm going for is the remaining bit of green. You'll see if you look back at that last video, and I'll throw a link in the description, that where we ended, we definitely had some more green appearing corrosion remnants around the stars and things that are now black after an acetone dip. But I'm gonna toss some verticare on here, and then I'm gonna let it sit for a while, and we will get some updated photos. So I'll let this spread itself around a bit to get some uniform coverage. Look at it go. Most of the green I'm seeing on the obverse is around the portrait and inside of the coronet, more so than around the stars, which kind of had been our most stubborn area before. So got a good coat on there, as you can see. And I'm gonna step away for a little bit and I'll follow up with you soon. So the verticare instructions say 1 to 10 minutes. It's been pretty close to 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and check this one out. What I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna try and get some of this onto my fingers because it's like slimy stuff, and then just apply it to the reverse without pulling out anymore. Yeah, there's plenty, look at that. Okay, so I'm just gonna let it sit for like another 10 minutes and then we'll see what it's done. I'd say we're a little more than 5 minutes here, and I think I'm gonna start working on getting this stuff off, but I'm gonna massage it in a little bit more. While I was waiting on this, I was checking on some of our comments, and man, I kind of knew that once this channel got bigger, we were going to deal with a lot more sort of troll behavior. This channel started out with just my buddies, really, from the Large Sense group on Facebook, and it's growing a little beyond true copper nerds who are very intimately familiar with, you know, what copper coins need in terms of care and conservation. But another comment about how I have devalued this coin from where we started. Bro, you're wrong. I have not. I have not. What you're going to see once I get this thing dipped is a coin that looks much better than when it started. And for all the haters, I will just throw down a before and a current state of preservation photo, And then after that, we're gonna let this one sit out on the desk for a while and see if it'll darken up a little bit in the lighter spots, because of course there are some lighter spots, just because some of that toning that was on there has been impaired while removing the active corrosion, which has to be removed, you guys. You have to remove that, or else it'll just continue being active corrosion, and it'll grow and it'll get worse. It'll create deeper pits. But by all means, if you think that this is going to be ruining a coin, don't do it to your coins. But certainly don't tell other people what to do with their coins, as long as they're not actually causing permanent damage. As far as I can tell, the only thing that I have done to this coin is there was a little scuff on the star, one of these stars, in the previous video. I'm not seeing that now, and I don't think you're going to notice that when it tones over. But otherwise, we have damaged no copper whatsoever. We've perhaps impaired a little bit of toning, which was not nice looking toning to begin with, and we have removed a lot of verdigris corrosion junk. So what I'm gonna do here is, for the last time, I'm gonna have Bobby help me out. Get this guy back down in the acetone. We'll swish it around a little bit, get that verticare off, and then we're gonna pull it out and go grab some more photos. Grab it, swishy, swishy. Now bear in mind, we don't care about the color. We care about all of that corrosion buildup that's been greatly reduced. That is what we need to get off the coin. That is what's causing it ongoing damage. And we have far less than what we started with. Before and after pictures coming up, and then we will get this one a nice brown color in the near future. Well, there it is. I'll let you decide if it's better or worse, but it is not worse. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull my pocket piece for the time being, carry this one around a little bit, and I'll let you know when we got a new color. So this video has been in editing for a few days, and you've heard me rehash some of the things that I've discussed in recent videos that I've posted, all while this one was still in the queue for editing. Just a couple more thoughts at the end. And also, let's take a look at what's happened with this coin in the last couple days that it's been riding around in my wallet in this little leather slip. The reverse is nice and brown again. That is just a nice looking reverse for this coin. The obverse is on its way to being brown again. You've seen me talk about all the negativity that we've received, but I hope it's apparent, or becoming apparent, that copper and silver, they're very different. This one's been sitting around for 100 years and still looks like that. This one was pretty shiny copper a couple days ago. Copper is a very reactive metal. Copper tones, whether you want it to or not. To prevent a copper coin from toning, you really do need to coat it in oil and keep it coin oil. Quick insert. This is such a chaotic video, you guys. But I don't want to scrap it. I want to get this info out there. I think the results we're seeing are good. But please forgive me for how much chaos is happening throughout this video. I mentioned oil a couple of times. I need to clarify. When I'm talking about coin oil that protects a coin from changing color, we're talking about stuff like Coin Care or Blue Bow. If you're new to copper and you're gonna be using some coin oil, which not everyone recommends, there's definitely experts out there that say to leave your coins dry. When you apply coin oil, you need to use a clean, proper brush. I've got a bunch of videos out there. If you have a hard time finding this particular brush, let me know, I can post a link. But oil, when I'm talking about the reactant oil, what I'm talking about is actual skin oil. So what I will do is I will literally take my finger, rub my forehead, and on the spots that need a little bit more toning, I'm just gonna carefully put a little skin oil on there and then that's going to react with the surface of the copper and it's going to turn it brown. That shouldn't be controversial at all, because I'm here to tell you that whatever coins you see that are brown and copper, that is how they turned brown. There's not some other magic process that turns a copper coin brown beyond people handling it and skin oil getting on it as a reactant. Sure, there's other ways that it could be done, but that's not really how it's done. Whenever you see a brown copper coin, it's because someone has touched it and that skin oil is reacting with the metal. Not controversial. Again, so all I'm doing here is just letting this coin that I've worked on go through the natural process to rebuild a brown color, and that is really just skin oil and heat. I rub that a little bit, or rub the surface a little bit with some skin oil, put it in this soft pouch to protect it from getting banged around in my pocket and dinged up, and it's gonna turn brown. Okay, let's get back to my little spiel. Oil and keep it in a safe spot. And that's about all you can do to make sure that just the atmosphere and the environment isn't going to turn your copper coin brown. So when we talk about how this coin had some of its toning impaired while removing corrosion, it doesn't matter. It is going to turn brown again. This was not a lustrous coin, right? It had no luster on it. Certainly, you got to be careful with anything that has luster, but once that luster has been knocked off of a coin, once we're dealing with something that's circulated, it doesn't really matter if you lose that original toning, because it's going to come right back. Nature is going to do it. Now, if you strip oil off of a coin and don't have any reactant on it, much like the reverse of this copper round, which I did put my thumbprint on yesterday for fun, but it has stayed shiny for months and months because it had no oil on it, because I stripped it with acetone, and it's been face down on that reverse, not interacting with the environment. Silver, you don't have to worry about it. It just doesn't really change. Sure, silver tones eventually, and if you have something near it like sulfur, silver is going to tone, but it doesn't pick up contaminants and then have it aggressively eat into the surface of the coin. If you don't maintain a copper coin, it's going to look like this. This would eventually look like this. Are we going to leave them like that? No, of course not. That's ridiculous. We're trying to curate, conserve, and take care of these coins for future generations. We're merely custodians of these coins. I'll be long dead, and this will be in someone's collection, and that's how it's going to be. And it's been in many collections before it. And if someone would have taken care of that little bit of corrosion when it started, we wouldn't have had this mess to begin with. So, welcome to the channel if you're new. If you don't know much about copper, enjoy the ride, pay attention, listen. We're talking about stuff that I'm not just creating out of my own head. I talk to people that do a lot of work in conservation and maintenance of coins, and that is the techniques that I'm using, and just the safer techniques. You don't see me under 50 power binocular microscope with a hypodermic needle plucking off little bits of corrosion off of high-end coins, because that's not what I do. But there's people that do just that, particularly within copper. There's guys that could get all of this stuff lifted off of the coin. It'd probably take them tens of hours to do so. It's meticulous, painstaking work, but there's people that do that level of conservation. I don't. What I'm talking about is doing stuff like we've done here, the easy acetone soak, the Verticare application, which I forgot to touch on. I've never had Verticare do much that impressed me. I don't know if it helped us out much here or not. I didn't see anything dramatic, but there sure could have been some subtle improvements. I'm not here to pass any judgment on Verticare. I just thought we'd try it since we had it. And whether or not it made a big difference, I'm happy with the results that we're seeing here. So, thanks for checking this one out. Thanks for joining us at the channel if you're new. Welcome. Hit me up in the comments anytime, but hit me up in the comments under this one. I'll show you a couple of more photos on the way out of our progress. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.